Hey everyone, just driving out to my office late at night. May as well film a little video while autopilot is doing its thing. I wanted to talk about the audio system in this car real quick. I don't think people have touched on that yet. It's got the 950 watt 22 speaker updated or upgraded audio system compared to the old Model S and the old Model X. They added some tweeters in the A-pillars. There's like dash speakers on both sides of the top of the dash. There's a speaker in the center. There's a speaker at the top of each A-pillar. I think that's for the surround system. And all in all, the system sounds pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the Model 3. I had the 2018 dual motor Model 3 and the 2020 performance Model 3, and I honestly felt like that stereo was outstanding. It had very good imaging, it had very good soundstage as far as vertical positioning of the soundstage. It was pretty good. It was nice and wide. Bass response was excellent. I don't think the car had a subwoofer in it. I think it just has very large sealed mid-bass drivers in the doors, and it sounded really good. There's a lot of times where I just kind of set it and forget it, and for me, mid-bass is everything. It's nice tight mid-bass, nice mids, vocals, nicely positioned highs. That's all important. A lot of car audio systems fail in those aspects. Like the Raptor is not that great. I replaced the speakers with let's see, in my GT350 I replaced those speakers with the Focals separates, and in the Raptor, what did I use? Shoot, it escapes me right now. Are they Moros? I believe they're Moros. It's whatever Crutchfield recommended. They're the higher end speakers that they have for that. And it did improve things quite a bit, but that car has, being a truck, it has sloppy bass, and this car, they did a lot of work with the mid-bass drivers, just like the Model 3, but I think acoustically this car is very different. Because the Model 3 has a sealed trunk and it's not a hatchback, I think the acoustics in that car are different. It's smaller, it's not a hatchback. This car is a hatchback, so it's going to have a lot more interior volume. The acoustics are going to be different. Sound waves are going to travel differently. And I think the lack of a subwoofer, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a subwoofer. I don't know that for sure. There's not one in the trunk. There's definitely not one on the parcel shelf. I just know that there are mid-bass drivers in the doors. I don't know where they get the 22 speakers from. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I see 3 across the front, 4 in the A-pillars. That's 7. 2 in the doors, the mid-bass drivers. And I'm assuming the back has 2 surround, 2 tweeter mid-range, and maybe mid-bass drivers. So I don't count 22 unless they count each speaker has a tweeter and a mid-range, like a coax type of situation. And even then, I don't know if I count 22 speakers. But 22 is an odd number. It's an even number, considering the center channel is 1 speaker, unless they count that as 2. Again, like a coax type of situation. Maybe I don't think there's a sub in here. I just don't think so. But the bass response is very sloppy. Compared to the Model 3. The Model 3 had really tight bass, like a sealed enclosure. I didn't have a whole lot of sloppiness in that car. You could really turn it up without it distorting. This one gets really sloppy at the high end. Now I'm using a David Cutter playlist here, which is there should be no DRM issues for YouTube, because it's you're able to use it without permission as long as you give him credit, and I will do that when I upload the video. So it's kind of, I don't really like the bass. I think it's missing something. It gets real sloppy on the high end. It's already starting Model 3s were much tighter, much more accurate. So I'm leaning towards, how can I fix that? I don't know. I would imagine it's very difficult to integrate a subwoofer into this car, only because pulling power is kind of a difficult task in this car. The Model 3 was really difficult to get radar detector power. I had to pull from the driver footwell. There are some leads in there. This car, I don't know. But anyways, I just thought I would just mention that, briefly mention the auto system. I hope you all have had a good weekend. Hope you're not dealing with the fires here in California. I know there's a lot of smoke everywhere, but okay, have a good week.